Dawn, sunlight soft and golden, bathed the Garden of Eden. The air, sweet with the scent of 1,000 blossoms, vibrated with the music of unseen birds. Here, beneath a canopy of leaves that shimmered like emeralds, walked Adam and Eve.
Our days are filled with playful exploration, Eve. Our laughter echoes through these trees.
And our nights, Adam, are for rest, curled together beneath the star-dusted sky.
They knew no fear, no shame, only the pure, unadulterated bliss of existence.
Every flower, every leaf, Eve, is a marvel of creation.
Each creature, Adam, fills my heart with love.
In this paradise there was only one rule: do not eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge, or so they thought. One stifling afternoon, as Eve sought solace from the sun beneath the shade of a fig tree, a voice, smooth as silk, slithered through the undergrowth.
Eve, why does God deny you the fruit of that tree?
Startled, Eve looked around. Her eyes fell upon a serpent, its scales shimmering with an unnatural luminescence.
God has forbidden us to eat from that tree.
Forbidden? He simply doesn't want you to become like him.
Like him.
Knowledge, my dear Eve, is power. A bite of that fruit, and you'll see the world as God sees it. You'll understand the mysteries of the universe.
Eve hesitated, an unsettling curiosity blossoming within her. She glanced towards the tree of knowledge, its branches laden with fruit that gleamed like polished rubies.
Think of it, Eve. The power to decide your own fate. The freedom to choose your own destiny.
The fruit, heavy in her hand, felt strangely warm. Doubt battled with curiosity. Her heart pounded against her ribs. The serpent's words echoed in her mind, a siren song promising enlightenment. All that remained was the fruit, its ruby glow pulsing with an alluring light.
This fruit, it holds so many promises.
Closing her eyes, Eve took a bite. The texture was unexpectedly crisp, the flavor a burst of sweet and tart that flooded her senses. A shiver ran down her spine, and the world around her seemed to warp and shift. For a moment she felt a surge of exhilaration, a rush of pure, unadulterated power. Her eyes flew open and the world snapped back into focus, but it was different, and with this newfound awareness came the chilling realization of her transgression.
What have I done?
Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through the euphoria. Her gaze darted to Adam, who was approaching with a smile, his arms laden with fruit. But where moments ago she saw only love and innocence, she now saw nakedness. Her own body felt suddenly exposed, vulnerable. Shame, hot and suffocating, washed over her. She reached for a fig leaf, clutching it to her chest, her heart pounding against her ribs like a frantic bird in a cage.
Eve, what troubles you?
Eat.
She thrust the remaining fruit towards him, her hand trembling. He hesitated, his brow furrowed in confusion, but her fear was contagious, and he trusted her implicitly. He took a bite. The world shifted once more, the colors around them deepening, the light taking on an ominous glow. Adam gasped, his eyes widening with the same horrifying clarity that had pierced through Eve's blissful ignorance. They were naked, exposed, and they knew it. Fear, cold and relentless, tightened its grip. The once comforting sounds of the garden now seemed to mock them, each sound amplifying their fear. Then, cutting through the symphony of nature, came a voice that sent shivers of dread down their spines.
Adam!
The voice boomed, resonating with the power of creation itself. It was a voice that had once filled them with peace and love, but now echoed with a sorrow that pierced their very souls. They dared not look up. Shame rooted them to the spot, their bodies trembling as the weight of their disobedience pressed down upon them.
Adam, where are you?
I am here, Lord.
Adam stammered, his voice barely a whisper. He stepped out from beneath the fig tree, Eve clinging to him, her body racked with sobs. There was no escaping their transgression. Standing before them, radiating a light that made their eyes sting, was their creator.
Have you eaten from the tree of which I commanded you not to eat?
Silence hung heavy in the air, broken only by Eve's muffled sobs. Adam, his voice thick with shame, tried to explain, but the words felt hollow and inadequate. The serpent's whispers, once so seductive, now rang in his ears as the lies they truly were. The consequences of their actions were swift and absolute. The serpent, its glistening scales now dull and lifeless, was cursed to crawl on its belly, forever reviled for its role in their downfall. Eve, her heart shattered by the weight of her transgression, was condemned to endure the pain of childbirth, a constant reminder of the paradise she had lost. As for Adam, he was to toil and sweat for his sustenance, the ground yielding thorns and thistles instead of its previous bounty. The Garden of Eden, once their sanctuary, was now forbidden to them. With heavy hearts and leaden steps, they walked away from the only home they had ever known. Each step was agony, each glance back a fresh wave of grief. Behind them, the gates of Eden swung shut with a deafening clang, the sound echoing through the now desolate landscape. The world beyond Eden was harsh and unforgiving. Gone were the gentle breezes and the comforting shade of the fig trees. In their place they found scorching sun, biting winds, and the constant threat of danger lurking in the shadows. The path ahead was uncertain, fraught with challenges they could never have imagined in their former life of blissful ignorance. Yet somewhere within the depths of their sorrow a flicker of hope remained. They had tasted knowledge, however bitter it may be, and with it came the understanding of consequence. Though they had been cast out of paradise, they were not abandoned. The love of their Creator, though tested, still resonated within their souls, a beacon guiding them through the darkness of their present reality. Hand in hand, they walked towards the horizon, their steps slow but steady. They carried with them the weight of their actions, the sorrow of their loss, and the faint, flickering ember of hope for redemption. Their journey from innocence to experience had been abrupt and brutal, yet within the crucible of their suffering, the seeds of resilience were sown. The fall of Eden marked the end of an era, but it also signified a new beginning.